Story number one starts off with Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci, not Mr. Fauci, again. Fauci points to MTG in pattern, that's a word from him, quote from him, continued threats. Dr. Anthony Fauci has stated that continued threats against him are due to rhetoric of individuals like Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. He highlighted that Greene's remarks contribute to a pattern of harassment and threats. Fauci emphasized that such rhetoric has real-world consequences, leading to increased security concerns for him and his family. Greene has been vocal in her criticisms of Fauci, particularly regarding his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. When Dr. Fauci spoke before Congress earlier this week, Marjorie Taylor Greene was a part of the panel, part of the grilling, and part of her grilling meant calling him Mr. Fauci and her being admonished for saying, no, please, there's Dr. Fauci, which she says, I will not because of science, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. Now, Dr. Fauci did have to admit that some of the science-based fact that they said for COVID wasn't all that science-based, wasn't all that much fact. He just sort of made it up as he went along because it sort of sounded good, and we went along with it. So, yeah, there's that. However, because people are basically calling him, a murderer, a terrorist, someone who just wants people to have vaccines, so they forced these weird sort of man-made viruses on us, is a concern. Do you believe Fauci actually created the virus himself, like sat in a lab and poured it down in the drain and sent it to Wuhan for them to distribute it? Or do you think that, the things that happen naturally and people like MTG are just people like MTG? Tell us in the comments. Tell us what you think about this one, because this one, unfortunately, while COVID is sort of died down, these things are not going away.